back with a bang. It's qualifying one in this Bahrain Grand Prix in the 2021 season. We have some changes, we have some the same. We'll all find out what happens later on. Enjoy. Then we are back with Formula One at its best. Let's go through the teams for this season. Well, we've got Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris in the McLaren. In the Aston Martin, we have Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. In the Williams, we have Nicholas Latifi and George Russell. In the Alfa Romeo, it's Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi. AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. Red Bull, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. In the Mercedes, we have Jack, the new Mercedes driver, and we have Lewis Hamilton. In the Alpine, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. And in the Ferrari, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Well, we are underway. We are back, and hopefully it's with a bang. This could be an exciting season. I hope it is. I hope you guys enjoy. Fernando Alonso is out on his outlap now. We will be watching him throughout his full lap unless there's an incident on the track. Well, he just finished his sector 2 of his outlap and he's on the back straight. Here we go. I'm excited for this season. The season is about to get underway. Qualifying is about to get underway any second. Can Fernando Alonso win this championship? He's going to be the first person to do a qualifying lap for us this season. Here we go then. The 2021 season has officially started in qualifying. Qualifying has officially started, and it's Fernando Alonso who kicks us off with a bang. He gets around that first corner with a 10-second straighten turn. He's going down the DRS zone now to go around this corner, and after he finishes this corner, it's around the 25-second. He's going to finish sector 1 with a 29.1. Well, Jack is right behind him. We'll check on Jack afterwards. But there is some people in front of the Alpine. So if they don't move, it could ruin his whole lap. The Mercedes is behind, so the Mercedes is definitely faster than the Alpine. Will the Alpine have to let him pass? Or will he be fine? Well, we can see the Mercedes now. But DRS zone. Fernando Alonso on sector 2, about to finish it. And he's going to sector 2. He crosses sector 2 with a 108.7. We'll catch up with all the other cars later on because we're stuck with Fernando Alonso right now. Here we go on the back straight. Final corner. Final straight. He's gonna get the DRS any second. The crowd goes wild as he crosses the line with 131.1, but Jack gets a 128.6. Next to cross the line, it's going to be Yuki Tsunoda who gets a 131.6. Now, next to cross the line is Daniel Ricciardo. But there is an incident on track between Jack and I think Fernando Alonso, but they're all fine. It could just be some front wing damages. Daniel Ricciardo gets a 130.1, and next to cross the line is going to be an Aston Martin. Oh, but there's more trouble for Jack. What is going on with him today in this Mercedes? Not a brilliant debut for the youngster.
This guy's letting me pass after I let him pass. Does this guy have rocks for brains?
Well, the problem is with that, he is Yuki Tsunoda is also on his in-lap, so Jack is just going to have to deal with this situation. But whilst that was happening, Esteban Ocon got a 131.5, Pierre Gasly got a 130.7, and Lewis Hamilton, Jack's teammate, got a 129.5, Sebastian Vettel got a 131.0, and next across the line is going to be an Alfa Romeo, and it's Kimi Raikkonen with 131.7. Next across the line will be, in fact, someone pitting. It's Fernando Alonso going into the pits. Max Verstappen and Max Verstappen is next to cross the line, but he'll be crossing the line, doing a lap. His lap just started. Jack will be pitting, Gasly will be pitting, Ricciardo will be pitting because Lando Norris is on his out lap. And that is George Russell about to cross the line with 132.4, and who else crosses the line? Well, I think it is Carlos Sainz going onto his lap. No, it's Charles Leclerc on his lap, but getting slowed down by the Williams. Antonio Giovinazzi just starts getting on his lap now. I think that's Esteban Ocon who just pit. Lance Stroll just starts his lap. Nicholas Latifi just starts his lap as Tsunoda pits, and Kimi Raikkonen, Carlos Sainz, finishes his lap with 130.2. Next across the line, it's going to be Sergio Perez finishing his out lap. Next, Mick Schumacher going to finish his out lap very shortly, and then after him is Charles Leclerc. No, it is Carlos Sainz pitting. Well, next is Lando Norris finishing his out lap, and after him we will have the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. He got a 107 for a Sector 2. Sector 3, a 129.5, and that's second place for him so far. Next across the line will be Charles Leclerc. Everyone else is on their lap. So, who will get the fastest lap? Will Jack keep it? Well, Carlos Sainz gets a 130.4. Next across the line will be Antonio Giovinazzi. So, that puts Charles Leclerc right behind his teammate in P6. Next across the line, Antonio Giovinazzi is going to get a 132.0. It's 13th for him. Next across the line now, Lance Stroll and the Aston Martin. He's on the final straight. He's getting DRS, and he's going to get a 131.5. Next across the line will be Nicholas Latifi, and Nicholas Latifi is the person behind is going to pit. Nicholas Latifi gets a 132.3. He's right ahead of his teammate. Well, next is a Red Bull who is going to cross the line. It's Sergio Perez crossing the line, and it's a 129.5 for Sergio Perez, who puts him into second place. Next is Mick Schumacher crossing the line with a 132.2, and the last person to cross the line now is going to be Lando Norris. The final lap in this season, in this first qualifying, and it's P6 for Lando, and it's a 130.2. We'll catch you later on when we get even more laps coming your way.
Hi everyone, it is an absolutely splendid day for football and we're looking forward to the game. I'm Derek Ray, perched here on the commentary gantry, and sitting alongside me to provide expert analysis is Stuart Robson. And you can really sense the anticipation in the crowd ahead of kick-off with their respective league seasons about to get underway. It's Preston North End and they face Hull City.
Well, the atmosphere is incredible inside the stadium, Derek. There's a real sense of optimism amongst the fans about the new season and what it might bring. It's been a long wait, but hopefully we get a great game to kick their campaigns off.
Well, let's run the rule over the Preston North End starting 11.
Well, it looks as though they're lining up fairly defensively with a back five. But I think the wing-backs will have licence to get forward at every opportunity. And also watch out for one of the central midfield players going to join the front too.
And this is how the starting lineup looks for Hull City.
Well, I like the look of their front three today. It has a combination of pace, skill and intelligence. But will they get enough of the ball? Because their midfield could be overrun here.
Well, we have 8 minutes left of qualifying 1, and this is how the table stands. Jack in the Mercedes P1 with 128.6. Next comes the 2 Red Bulls, who are tied with a 129.5 each. Sergio Perez ahead of his teammate Max Verstappen. The other Mercedes in P4 with 129.5 as well, but just behind Max Verstappen. P5 and P6 goes to the McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo, just ahead of his teammate there with a 130.1. Whilst Fernando Norris has a 130.2. Also with 130.2 is Carlos Sainz. Behind him is his teammate with 130.4. Pierre Gasly is next with 130.9, and he's ahead of the last, well, would be points if it was the actual race, Sebastian Vettel with a 131.0. Next we have the Alpine of Fernando Alonso with 131.1. Then comes the other Aston Martin, Lance Stroll with 131.5. Also with 131.5 is the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. Next, the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda with a 131.6. Then after him is a Kimi Raikkonen Alfa Romeo with 131.7. Behind him his teammate, who so far would be knocked out, Antonio Giovinazzi with 132.0. Mick Schumacher with 132.0 as well, as we have a crash here of Jack. He spun. He did come out on his outlap, and he's gonna... That was nearly a crash into the wall. I'm sorry for disturbing the table, but that is dramatic. He will be able to get out for another lap if he wants to, though. He just needs to get into the pits in time. Anyway, Antonio Giovinazzi with a 132.0. Also with 132.0. Not with one. Also in the drop zone, Mick Schumacher with 132.2 ahead of the 2 Williams. We're going back to Jack because there's a sector 3 yellow flag. He was in the barrier. He needs to be careful because the rules are very strict. If you reverse, you could get disqualified. But this is terrible for Jack, especially for the Mercedes. Also, the 2 Williams, Nicholas Latifi with 132.3 and George Russell with 132.4. Will he be able to get into the pits? That is the question. He's not going... Oh, yes, he is. It's my mistake. Jack is in the pits. Because of that traumatic incident that just occurred. Well, 5 minutes to go now, and Jack's still in P1, so he might want to stay in the garage so he doesn't cause any more money out of the Mercedes. But remember, they do have a lot. All of the drivers in the garage now, and we'll go to Jack to find out what happened there.
I hate the worst corner currently. I can't even come out for another lap. The damage is that bad.
Well, it looks like he can't come out because the damage is really bad. Well, more people will be coming out very soon, hopefully. But if no one comes out, George Russell, Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Antonio Giovinazzi will be out of qualifying 1. Whilst Kimi Raikkonen, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez and Jack will all be going through to qualifying 2. This has been an exciting first qualifying.
Confirms that everyone will be coming out in around about 40 seconds in the bottom 10.
Well, we are going to see more action, hopefully. Because, yes, there is a car coming out. And it's that Mick Schumacher in front of everyone. Yes, it is Mick Schumacher is starting his outlap. He's in P17. More people coming out. Is Raikkonen, he's P15, he's safe. The people that needs to well, he's not safe yet, but the people that definitely need to come out and fight is Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Nicholas Latifi and George Russell. We're going to wait for everyone to get out of the pits that will be coming out of the pits for one more lap, and then we will watch and find out who will be going to Q2 and who will not be going to Q2. Well, everyone that wants to come out is out, and we're watching Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez and Jack in the pits, and it looks like they won't be coming out. So, the people on the out lap: Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, Kimi Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Nicholas Latifi and George Russell. Well, we will be watching Mick Schumacher on his lap. We will go through the whole experience with him until the end. We might get cut off from all the other drivers, but if he does what he's supposed to do, we will get through the whole lap of Mick Schumacher. He has started his lap now, and so has Kimi Raikkonen, George Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi, Esteban Ocon, Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda. Everyone has started their lap now. We are stuck with Mick Schumacher to see if he will get through. It's Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Nicholas Latifi and George Russell that need to fight for safety. Well, let's go watch the Haas and see what he can do. He's doing better than the Williams on his own, remember, because there is no other Haas driver. He's on his own. He's going to try and do his absolute hardest for this team. He gets a 109.4. That is worse than his original Sector 2. He's on the back straight now. The top 8 won't be coming out for a second lap. They think they're safe. I think they're safe unless there's loads of commotion. Mick Schumacher on the final straight now. He's going to get the DRS. Will he get out of the drop zone? No, he will not. He gets a worse lap. But will Kimi Raikkonen get out of the drop zone? Well, he's not in the drop zone. George Russell doesn't get out. And let's find out what happened. So, Jack on qualifying 1 pole, then Perez, Verstappen, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly, Alonso, Vettel, Stroll, Tsunoda, Ocon. Raikkonen is through, so that means George Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi are all out of qualifying 1. Let's get into qualifying 2. Qualifying 2 here in Bahrain, the people that went through: Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen, Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, Jack, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. Well, don't forget qualifying 2, if you get in the top 10, decides your wheels. So, top 10.
Damn it, forgot to put on the medium tyres. Box this lap, wrong tyres are on.
So, Jack will be boxing this lap because he forgot to put on the mediums. He wants to put on the mediums because he will have a better strategy if he puts on the mediums for qualifying 2. Because your qualifying 2 wheels, if you get into the top 10, you have to use those wheels with wear if you want to get if you're in the top 10. The other 5, it doesn't really matter, but they all want to get through to qualifying 3. Who actually has mediums on? Well, it's Sergio Perez that is looking at the best strategy so far, because he has came out on his medium tyres. Lando Norris, Kimi Raikkonen, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Lewis Hamilton haven't came out of the pits yet. Mick Schumacher no, Max Verstappen, sorry, has put on the mediums as well. So we're here with the Alpine going through the full lap with Esteban Ocon. The Red Bulls know what they're doing with the medium tyres on. The others, maybe not. But Esteban Ocon has started his first lap for Q2. The crowd goes wild. They can't wait to see this Bahrain Grand Prix tomorrow, and nor can I. This will be exciting. This is going to be really, really exciting. I can't wait to see what goes on in this season. And also, it's a bit far away. It's 16 races away. But I can't wait to see, first of all, who wins the Drivers' Championship, who wins the Constructors' Championship, and who will move to different teams. Well, I'm going to put in an early prediction. The Constructors' Championship, in my opinion, I think it will go to the Red Bulls. I think the Red Bull will win the the Constructors' Championship. But for the Drivers' Championship, it's going to be tough for Jack because it is his first season. I could go for a Red Bull. I could go for a Ferrari, I could go, I will tell you after Esteban Ocon finishes his lap with a 131.5. Next across the line will be Sergio Perez on those medium tyres. No, it's Max Verstappen starting his lap. There's loads of people starting their laps, so Daniel Ricciardo gets to fast with a 130.0. Sebastian Vettel, I think, is next across the line. Yes, he is. I'm going to quickly say before, I think that, you know what? Sebastian Vettel gets into second with 131.0. I'm going to say it's going to be tough for Jack. And that is why I am saying that the winner of the Drivers' Championship will be Max Verstappen. Close between Max Verstappen and Jack, but I think first year for Jack will not win the Drivers' Championship, I don't think. Anyway, Pierre Gasly finishes with 130.7. Sergio Perez with 130.8. Carlos Sainz with 129.9, and both Mercedes have come out on the medium tyres now as well. So the Red Bull and the Mercedes are going for the strategy for tomorrow. Well, Fernando Alonso gets 131.1 next across the line, and finishing their first lap will be Max Verstappen, because Esteban Ocon is pitting. It's Max Verstappen crossing the line with 130.8. It's fifth fastest. So Carlos Sainz, I predicted Max Verstappen to win the Drivers' Championship, but it doesn't look like he will if he carries on with this pace. Next, well, Kimi Raikkonen gets a 131.8, and Lance Stroll is just finishing his outlap. So everyone on the track from 10th to 15th is a wait. Oh, Charles Leclerc with 130.0. Ferrari could do a good job this season. I'm not writing off Ferrari at all. But the next person to cross the line will be Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda is going around the last corner now, and he is on the final straight.
What just happened? That was a massive impact. I think the rear end is completely shattered.
Well,
That was a huge impact.
Yuki Tsunoda gets ninth with a 131.4, but we are now going to go to Jack, because that.
I think the rear is completely shattered. It absolutely cracked the rear.
Well, Jack will definitely have to pit, and that is an invalid lap for him as well. Jack will not finish a lap. Will he be able to come out in this qualifying too? That is the question. Anyway, Next across the line will be Lewis Hamilton, who gets a 1:30.5. It's not good enough for pole. Lance Stroll will be last across the line to finish a lap because Jack comes off again.
Oh, the same thing that happened in Q1.
Well, Lance Stroll is about to cross the line now with a 1:31.6. Let's go to Jack and watch how he does with his terrible damage. But the Ferrari and the McLarens are doing well, but it could be because they're on the softs and the Mercedes and Red Bulls are on the mediums. But Pierre Gasly, everybody, can we have a round of applause for Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri? He's in P6 and he's doing better than both Red Bulls. Yes, they're on the mediums, but also Lewis Hamilton is doing better than him and he's on the mediums. Pierre Gasly just is doing better than expected. That's all I can say, really. Yes, they're on the mediums, but Lewis Hamilton must have a faster car if he can get P5 with mediums.
Out we go.
Jack is already coming out, so we want to see if there is any damage. Can we quickly check on the radio?
Okay, so that was no damage. I'm surprised the scar stayed in one piece. Surprised it wasn't split in half.
Well, Jack and Lance Stroll are the only people on track now, but Lance Stroll will be pitting. So we're going to go through the whole outlap and the whole lap with Jack. Won't be his in lap because there will be other people when they get onto the in lap. So if anything happens to Jack on his out lap or lap, we will be watching and we will find out what happens. Well, let's see what will happen. He is on the mediums, so the highest he can go without being, it's because they're on softs, is 5th place, which is above his teammate who is also on mediums. He's got fresh air through the whole of the track. People won't start coming out until like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So we could see a whole in lap of Jack as well. But all we need to focus on now is the out lap, of course, because if he gets any damage he won't be able to do another lap. Also the actual lap we need to focus on. We want him to, he wants to finish the lap without any damage. And then whatever happens, except from if he crashes and the wheels come off in the in lap, it won't matter because he would be done with the laps unless he goes for another lap without pitting. But he won't want to waste the wear on his tyres because he will be driving with these tyres in the actual race. But he is on his lap now. He goes round the final corner of sector 1, and the sector 1 is a 28.7. It's the fastest sector 1 so far. Here we go then. He is on point to get to the fastest laps above Carlos Sainz. And I'm surprised because he is on the mediums, not the softs. Well, he goes around this corner pretty smoothly, and he's got in the DRS zone now. He won't have as much pace as Carlos Sainz, but oh no, we know Jack. He can do way much better, as you saw in qualifying 1, and if you were watching F2, you saw that as well. Well, Jack gets 107.2, which is the fastest sector 2 as well. So, unless anything drastic happens here, Jack will get the fastest lap. He's on the back straight, final corner now. He turns. It's the final straight. He's going to get the DRS. He is on point to begin the fastest lap. And what is it going to be? It's a 129.2. Brilliant lap.
Yes, he is. Oh, boys. Oh my god, we really just did that on the medium tyres. That's hard to believe. And now everyone else is coming out. I'm in trouble.
Well, Kimi Raikkonen is on his outlap now. And he is in front of everyone else. And what has happened to our leader? He could be letting the Alfa Romeo pass, which I think is happening. But what Jack needs to remember is they're not on a lap yet. So, whoa! And he spun! What happened there? He needs to be careful of any other cars coming up behind him so they don't crash into the back of him. We're going to go to the Alfa Romeo now, but if anything happens, all I need to do is press one button and I'll be with Jack. Because Raikkonen 15th, Jack first. Well, looks like Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton aren't coming out. They think they're safe. But are they? That is the question. What I'm surprised about is the two Red Bulls. What's happened with Jack? Something's happening with Jack. He just keeps on spinning everywhere. He's wasting the wear on his tyres he's going to be using in the race. Well, and he spun again. What is happening with this Mercedes? It's like it's always on the inlet.
Yeah, the rear tyres are cooked up. Very hard to keep grip through the corners.
Well, this will be hard for him in the race tomorrow, more than anything. Well, we're going to go to Kimi Raikkonen, which I'm surprised about is P8, P9 for the Red Bulls. It is because they were on the mediums and they are now on the softs. Can they do anything? We will find out very shortly, but we're on board with Kimi Raikkonen now, as everyone, but for everyone that is out on track, that has already, are on their lap. 7th to 15th. We've got a minute until Q2 ends. Jack is in the pits. He is safe, but his tyres will be weared out a lot for tomorrow's race. Well, we're on board with Kimi Raikkonen and he's got the DRS. Sector 2 is close to be finished for him. He's in 15th, he needs to get to 10th to go through. He gets a 108.9, it's better for him, but is it good enough to get out of the drop zone? Back straight action for the Alfa Romeo is going to go into the final corner now. Final corner, next up will be Lance Stroll, but for now, Kimi Raikkonen is going to get the DRS, crossing the line. With 131.5, he doesn't get out of the drop zone. Lance Stroll doesn't get out of the drop zone. And Max Verstappen's in P10. What has happened? Let's go find out. Well, and Verstappen gets P2, Perez with P3, and then Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, and Fernando Alonso all go through. Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, and Kimi Raikkonen are out. So, Pierre Gasly will be, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly will be driving on the softs. Daniel Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz will be driving on the softs tomorrow's race. Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton and Jack will be driving on the mediums to start tomorrow's race. Everyone else in the bottom 10 will start on whatever tyres they want. This decides the positions and loads of people are going to start coming out. Who got through to Q3, I hear you ask? Well, it's the two McLarens, Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. It's the two Red Bulls, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. It's the two Ferraris, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. And it's the two Mercedes, Jack and Lewis Hamilton. It's the one AlphaTauri, of Pierre Gasly. What? Excuse-moi? And it's also the Alpine of Fernando Alonso. Anyway, we're on board with Max Verstappen on his outlap. We will be staying with Max Verstappen on his outlap and his actual lap, unless someone overtakes him, and we'll watch them because we want front row action. So, qualifying 2 was a bit drastic for Jack. And we found out it's 12% wear on his medium tyres, which he can't change for the race. Qualifying 3 decides it all though. Who will be first? Who will be on pole position? Who will start the Bahrain Grand Prix unless they get a grid penalty? In first place. Well, it's either Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Peter Gasly, Sergio Perez, Jack, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton or Carlos Sainz. Jack is getting pretty close to Max Verstappen now. So he's going to either overtake him in time or have dirty air, or he could leave him. And what is he going to do? Well, he won't be able to overtake him now. So it's going to look like he's going to have dirty air. Max Verstappen starts his lap now. Max Verstappen has started his lap. We can hear the crowd cheer. Jack has also started his lap. So has Carlos Sainz. Next to start their lap is going to be Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly has started his lap. Jack and Max Verstappen are really close. It could be really bad for Jack. Well, Sector 1, Max Verstappen gets a 28.7, but it looks like Jack got the fastest Sector 1 there. Lando Norris is now on his lap. And next to come across is going to be Sergio Perez. After Sergio Perez, it's going to be Fernando Alonso. And then after him, it will be Charles Leclerc. Well, there, Jack is right up Max Verstappen's rear. And is he going to try on him? It could be risky, but it could be better for him. Daniel Ricciardo is going to start his lap now as well. Next will be Lewis Hamilton, who will be the last one. It looks like he's trying it. We could get wheel-to-wheel action in qualifying. That would be amazing. Racing and qualifying. Well, it's not going to happen, sadly. Max Verstappen is going to cross the line with a 129.3, but Jack gets a 128.5. Next across the line will be Carlos Sainz. Will he do better than the Mercedes? Well, there's Sector 3 problems between Jack and Max Verstappen. What is going on here? Jack shouldn't let him through because it will ruin everyone's race. But Max Verstappen goes through, but he's going to let Jack through. Oh, Jack goes into the gravel. Well, Carlos Sainz got a 130.3. Pierre Gasly with 130.6. Next across the line is Lando Norris. And Lando Norris is going to get A with DRS. A 129.7, which puts him into P3. Next across the line will be the Red Bull, Sergio Perez. And the Red Bull crosses the line with 129.3. Is behind his teammate by only 2 thousandths. 200ths. Charles Leclerc crossed the line with 130.0. Fernando Alonso with 130.8. Then Ricciardo is next across the line in the McLaren with 130.1, worse than a Ferrari. But Lewis Hamilton is on the final corner, and it's going to be the last person to cross the line will be the Mercedes with a 129.4. So, top 10 so far: Jack, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, and Fernando Alonso. Jack gets in the pit before Max Verstappen, but they go in quite together. We're going to watch Lewis Hamilton because he will be the last person in the pit. This has been an exciting qualifying 3 so far, but it's not over yet. Well, you're going to get some teasers in this video of what's coming up soon. It's not Formula 1 related. It's football related. Enjoy the next teaser, because you've been having a lot of teasers lately.
5 minutes in this game.
It wants to put in another lap. I don't think he should, because he's wasting wear on his soft tyres. He is fine. He might he might be doing this because he wants to get
So
pole.
confirm the spare tyres will be ready for tomorrow's race.
Well, Jack could be fighting for a better time for pole for tomorrow, but what happened? He spun! And he could be going into the wall. That was very close. He's on the gravel. This is going to be terrible for his tyres, and everyone's starting to come out. So, if I was him in this situation right now, I would pit. But what do I know? I'm just a commentator. I'm not the driver. Well, Fernando Alonso is still in the pits. He could be having a problem with his car. We'll keep an eye on with that blue dot on that thick white line in the bottom right corner. Will Jack finish? Will Jack carry on with a lap, or will he pit? Well, he is on the back straight. He's on the final corner. And he's on the final straight. He's pitting. Boring. We won't be seeing anything going on with Jack because I don't know if he'll be able to come out in time. If he does, great. More action. But if he does, I really want him to come out actually. So hopefully the engineers can do something quickly. But Pierre Gasly is next to cross the line, and he will be doing a lap, hopefully. Yes, he is starting that very lap right now. Will Jack be able to come out in time? I don't think he will.
We're going to try it. Everyone clear the garage for coming out.
He's going to try, but I don't think he has enough time because it's already gone the 1:28 mark. Well, Pierre Gasly would definitely finish the lap. But what is his sector 1 going to be? Because he wants higher. Fernando Alonso won't get out in time. Jack is coming out for an out lap. He won't be done with this in 1 minute. So, Jack and...
we can't do it. Failure.
Jack and Fernando Alonso are done. So, Jack is hoping now for no one to beat his 1:28.5 time. Well, I actually want Jack to join us in the lobby right now.
Oh, that was a big loss of grip there. I don't even know if these tyres are suitable for racing anymore.
Right, Jack, if you can stay with us now on radio, that would be great, because you won't be putting in another lap. So, I don't know if he will, because he is going to try and concentrate on not crashing, so he probably won't. Anyway, Pierre Gasly gets the 1:30 point, doesn't get a better time. Well, it's all over now. Jack has retired from the session. Well, Jack P1, pole position, Max Verstappen in second, Lewis Hamilton third, Perez fourth.
I've absolutely crashed it. I've lost it. I lost it. I was out.
He might be out, but he is still pole position. He will still start the race tomorrow. First place. Lando Norris 5th. Charles Leclerc 6th. Daniel Ricciardo 7th. Carlos Sainz 8th. Pierre Gasly 9th. And Fernando Alonso 10th. Well, we're going to go and interview the driver of the Mercedes, Jack. Jack, are you there?
Yes.
So, first question. Pole position today. Have you got any emotions you want to share with the audience?
Not too sure. There's not many emotions, it's just qualifying. It says nothing about the race because positions could change from first to last by a split second, just being a crash.
So this is a new season, and well, it could be hard for you on the rest of the season, but What happened there? You crashed out. You will probably still start first, but you crashed out. What happened there?
Well, it's just a case of you lose the rear end because, you know, this track is meant to cook up the rear tyres. So, obviously the rears were absolutely dead. And, yeah, I just lost it.
So your teammate there, was it 4th place? How do you think that would help the drivers' championship for you guys? Well,
really,
the
it's
constructors.
the exact same thing as I said before, is that it can just, you know, one thing can change and then bang, it's all changed, it's all over.
Final question for you today. We're going to ask this every qualifying, every race. Who was your biggest rival today?
Well, obviously in qualifying, when you take pole, it's obviously going to be the person behind or in front of you. Or second, which I think is Max Verstappen, I'd say they'd be my main rival.
Well, thank you for the interview and good luck tomorrow in the race.
Yeah.
So guys, that is qualifying done and we will see you tomorrow for the race.